So considering that 80% of Warhammer lore is all about Space Marines, who were the first Space Marines? And where exactly did they come from? Well, that title belongs to the Dark Angels, the honored First Legion, and the sons of Lionel Johnson. Now, at first glance, the Dark Angels resemble an order of medieval knights that were noted for having particularly stable gene seed. And unlike other Space Marines that came later, these guys don't really have a specialty. Compared to the mastery of stealth tactics like that of the Raven Guard, or the Iron Warrior's mastery of siege warfare. As the very first Legion of Space Marines, they pretty much had to be good at everything. Even though they didn't have complete mastery over any one style of combat, they excelled in all of them. Now, the origin of the Dark Angels can be traced back to a death world known as Caliban. This was a planet that was ruled by knightly aristocrats, that ruled from their fortress monasteries. Now, Caliban got the reputation as being a death world because it was also inhabited by a huge array of massive monsters collectively known as the Great Beasts. Now, these things were incredibly powerful and dangerous. They basically kept Caliban from ever advancing out of the feudal era. Well, one of the knights that lived on this planet was named Luther, and one day he discovered a feral child living in the woods. Luther took the boy in and had him join his order. Well, it turns out that that little boy was actually one of the Primarchs, grew into the man that we know as Lionel Johnson. Eventually, the Lion would lead a crusade to purge Caliban of the Great Beasts, and thus uniting all of the knightly households of Caliban. Shortly thereafter, the Emperor of Mankind came to Caliban. He told the Lion the truth about his origins, that he would take control of his Legion of Space Marines. Originally, they were just known as the Emperor's Angels of Death, but would be renamed as the Dark Angels shortly after the Lion took over. In the following years, the Dark Angels would fight many battles in the Emperor's name, and whenever they needed new members, they would recruit from Caliban. The man that found him in the woods would also become a Space Marine. Now, unfortunately for Luther, he was too old to receive all of the upgrades, so he was kind of like a half Space Marine. Now, out of all of the wars that the Dark Angels participated in, by far the most devastating was known as the Rangdan Xenocides, where it was estimated that the Dark Angels lost around 50,000 Marines. This is a war that unfortunately is kind of shrouded in mystery and we really don't know much about it. And that's honestly not uncommon when it comes to the Dark Angels because these guys are full of secrets. But there's two in particular that are really big. First was that during the Horus Heresy, half of their legion ended up falling to chaos. You see, that guy Luther had become incredibly bitter, held a deep resentment against the Lion. The Chaos Gods were able to use his hubris to corrupt him, who then in turn spread his corruption throughout the Dark Angels. Those Dark Angels that turned traitor are collectively referred to as the Fallen, and the final battle between the two sides saw Caliban destroyed. And supposedly Lionel Johnson was killed in combat after engaging in a duel with the chaos-empowered Luther. Although the Dark Angels were successful here, their homeworld had been completely destroyed, and the Chaos Gods basically sucked up all of the remaining Fallen into the warp, and then spread them across time and space. These events, and the fact that half of the Dark Angels fell to chaos, are closely guarded secrets. And the Dark Angels of today are oath-bound to hunt down all of the Fallen, and force them to repent for their sins through eradication. The other major secret of the Dark Angels is that the Lion lives. His body is locked in stasis deep within the rock, which is a surviving chunk of Caliban, and it serves as a replacement homeworld for the Dark Angels.